thing would be number 4. I cannot handle this phrasing. No one is ever just a kit sale. So I used to hear like, oh well, she's just a kit sale. What that means is you're communicating that. I think you're communicating a lot. I think one thing that you're communicating is that they'll never go business. I hear that. Does that make sense? Like, let's say I sell a kit to Peggy, and I'm like, and in my head I'm like, oh, she's just a kit sale.
I'm not expecting anything.
I'm not expecting anything out of her, and I just want to be like, why would you ever?
Yeah.
But because anyone is capable, regardless of age, regardless of geography, anybody can do this.
Absolutely.
So I tell the story, and it's the honest to God truth. Josh and I were in seminary, and we literally were on Medicaid and WIC vouchers. WIC vouchers are like, you get these vouchers to go to like get formula and stuff. And because I was a nursing mom, you could get like food or whatever. So we were on WIC, we were on Medicaid. Thank you Jesus for Medicaid for Liza Jane. And then right before Young Living like literally took off, we got on food stamps, which by the way is the most humbling process of my entire life. Josh, he was finishing up seminary. I had finished. I was working nonprofit, which means you make nothing. And we were struggling. It wasn't like we were like eating bonbons, chilling out in the house. Like we were literally busting it, but it wasn't happening. But no one knew. Like we were very frugal. We were very careful, and like we weren't advertising that like things are tough. And I could think that my enroller could have like looked at our situation and been like, oh, Paige works full time. Like they don't need the money. Like no one really knew what was going on, you know? So I'm so thankful that Jessica Porter, my enroller, was like, girl, you should do the business and get your oils paid for, but really you should do the business and like quit your job so you can stay home with your sick kid. And I was like, yeah, okay. But she talked to me about it for 3 months before I even bought my kit. Like it wasn't like I just, you know, like she talked to me about it. I was like, oh, okay, take all the money, you know? So anyway, all that to say, we also, for me to buy the kit was a big investment. We had $300 in our savings account, so it took half of our savings. Because Josh was like, well, it's already bad, so I mean, like, what do we gotta lose?
Yeah, what's
on his weight, but that's
whatever. And so, anyway, I say that to all that to say that I'm so grateful she talked to me about the business.
You weren't just a kid.
Yes, I was not just a kit sale, but it would have been super easy to look at me and just be like, oh, it was just a kit sale. So I think you guys, when you sell a kit, so like, let's say you sell a kit to your coworker, just say, hey, and if you're like, I'm not doing the business, but I just want to tell you that my daughter works this as a business and there's an opportunity there. Like, super easy, right? So I actually have a girl that's executive on her way to silver, and she is somebody who sold a kit who's not doing the business, who sold a kit who's not doing the business, who sold a kit who's not doing the business, and she decided to do the business. Because it was, oh, you could do this. I'm not doing it, but you could. Does that make sense? So if you even sell a kit to someone and you're like, my job is too much, they should all have the opportunity to do this as a business. Like, hands down. I think by also saying they're just a kit sale, it removes kind of the value too from that person. I truly believe, like, you all bought your kit for a reason. You may not have even said it out loud to your enroller, but you bought the kit. There's something you're trying to address in your home, right? It might be you want new makeup, right? It might be the girls that you sold the kit to, they want non-toxic makeup. Or it might be somebody has, like, major stress in their life, and then you have somebody with, like, weight management problems. Like, there's all these, they bought the kit for a reason. So I think when we say it's just a kit sale, it removes the value from that person of like, no, this is someone that has a significant issue that they want to address. The other thing is, it also opens you up to think through like, okay, Peggy bought her kit because she snores horribly. Horrible snore, like worst snore ever. But I could also educate Peggy on all the things she could do besides that. Like, hey Peggy, what if we changed out this cleaner? What if we did this? And next thing you know, you're a full-blown oil lover. The other thing that this is important is Tony Brandt, who is working towards platinum, shared with me the importance of thinking through people in terms as oil lovers. So when she's growing to her next strength, she thinks like, I need 40 more oil lovers in my downline. Does that make sense? So let's say you want to break even, right? You want to like get your oils paid for. So you know you need to sell like 2 to 3 kits every month to break even, And you're thinking, okay, I need 2 oil loving families in my downline. And you're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, who am I going to enroll? Like, I don't even know. Well, so I started doing this. I started making a list of like, okay, actually, y'all might be able to see it. This is a list I'm working on right now. Okay. I'm doing this too. So like I've made a list of all the people that I think that I want to talk to in Charlottesville. I have all the people from my church that I want to talk to. I have all the people from Charleston I want to talk to. Texas, Roanoke, miscellaneous group, college and high school, Raleigh, and I'm working on my list. Because my goal is to sell 100 kits right now. So I was like, I'll just make a list of everybody I can possibly talk to. And it's not that I'm cold calling these people or anything like that. What I've started to do is just interact with them on a personal level. So what this means for me when I sit down to build my business, I pull out this list and I literally will go to I'll go to her Facebook page, comment on her kids' pictures. I'll message her about a play date. I'll message her about a mom's night out. Does that make sense? And so I care about these people and I want to interact and engage with them. I do, and I also really like having my friends on my team, right? Like that's to me is a fun thing to do. So when you're thinking through like, how do I grow my business? You could just make a list of like, okay, I know these 10 girls from college. I know these 5 girls from my church. I know these 10 girls from back home. And next thing you know, you have a list of 50 people. And it doesn't mean that you're going to call them and be like, hey, it's Peggy. Do you want to buy a kit? No, that's weird, right? But you can engage them and interact with them. There are some people though, I did straight up was like, buy the kit. Like, my first 2 kit sales, I was like, I want to do this and I don't want to do it by myself. So I want you to grow this business with me. Like, I called 2 girls and I was Marcy and Jennifer Riddle, my first 2 kit sales. And I was like, do this with me. And sure enough, they did. Jennifer's platinum, Marcy's gold, and they make really good money for, I'm like,
and thank you for succeeding. Like sometimes, like I look in this room and these are my friends. You know what I mean? So like, I have that where it's like I want my friends to do this and I want them to
do well
and like to do well because that benefits them and that makes me happy.
Yeah, too, I mean, think about I actually got really emotional at the diamond trip this year because I didn't have any other diamonds with me, like underneath me, and I was like, I'm so tired of going on these dang trips without diamonds. Like, I want my team with me,
Okay. I'm going to Spain.
I'm going to Spain. Like, it really was like, I really do want this, So for you, like if I saw your downline and you have like 30 kit sales with no business people that you personally enrolled, it's not that it's a bad thing. That should just teach you like, okay, how am I talking to them about the business? How can I talk about it better? And have I talked to all of them about the business? Have I presented this as a legit business opportunity?
Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
After the Savvy class yesterday, we went out, the 4 of us went out to dinner, and we're at this Greek restaurant. Just this Greek restaurant. And the person, what was her name?
Vanessa.
Vanessa was our waitress, and I'm asking for gluten-free options, which I didn't do that on purpose except for me.
Right.
But it opens up. And so she stood there the whole time going, well, this one is gluten, and that one is gluten, and I kept going, free in my head because I don't want the gluten ones.
Right.
But as she came around, over the course of the evening, she kept saying things, and because I had brought up the gluten thing, and at a point, I mean, this has gone on for a little while, but at a point I just went, well, I don't know if you're interested, but have you ever heard of Young Living? And she's like, no. And I'm like, essential oils. Opened up this conversation, and we got her contact information. She wants us to call her next week. And she's standing there going, oh, my mother would love this, and my grandmother would love this,
right.
and I'm sitting at a point, and this takes a little while, but at a point I said, you do realize there's a business opportunity here, right?
Right.
And she's working 2 restaurant jobs,
Right.
and has a 9-year-old son, and I said, you sat here and named 4 or 5 people, right away, and we told her a little bit about it, but I even said, I mean, she would go away to get water or get her check or whatever, and I'm like, okay, when she comes back, I'm gonna ask her.
I'm gonna sign her over here.
Yeah, she comes back, and I'm like, can I have your can we get your contact? She'd given a business card. I was going to get Lindsay too. Lindsay didn't have any. But, but I thought, I've learned you don't give out your business cards, you get their contact. Yeah. And so I said, can we get your contact? So she gave it. And then I would say, so then we can call you, right? Somebody can call you? Yeah. You would be open to that, right? Get all the permission you can. And then at a point, she was like, not real busy. And I'm like, if you want, we've got our phones right here. You can sit down. And I go to the bathroom, come back. She's sitting at the end of the table in a chair. I thought, we are signing this girl up. But when she left the first time, I looked across the table and I said, was there anything I said that was hurtful? I was talking about her needs. I was addressing what she had brought up, the concerns that she had. I didn't say anything that was pushy or mean. She came back, and she had to partly. Right. But she kept coming back. But she came.
Really drink all the water.
She had to bring her check. But when I leave at one point, I come back and I had mentioned sitting down, but she's literally sitting at the end of our table. I thought, okay,
what you just did there was like she could have totally turned you down.
Absolutely.
And then, but
took the opportunity.
And what's the worst that's going to happen? Exactly. And that's literally my thought is, really?
And we already had her food, so she wasn't going to spit
in it.
Yeah.
What's legitimately the worst thing that's going to happen?
Right.
What's the worst thing that's going to happen? So what I would do is, if I had a downline with a ton of people, 30, 40 people, which is really on your way to, you're about 50, 60 people, you can hit executive. So it's like, okay, if I have that, but you need the legs. So then I would start thinking through what has been my approach and what do I need to change about an approach. And the reason I love it, because you have a specific problem with your how your business is structured, it's like it just helps you understand where you need to grow.
Right.
And I really love that.
When you can name it.
When you can name, yeah, exactly.
What to do next.
What to do next.
Yeah.
And so for me, it would be like, okay, so I would be looking at your business, your lack of business people as an opportunity to say, okay, I've got a pool of 30 people to start with that I have underneath me.
Circle back around.
So who have I talked to about the business, and what did that look like? So if you were like the tall girl slouch approach, which is like, I have this thing that I do, that's not a lot of confidence. But if it was like, hey, listen, I have decided, this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm going to throw myself under the bus here, but I've decided to launch a business, honestly. I love my job, but I really see an opportunity here to grow a business, and if I were to be honest, I don't want to do it by myself, and I would love to grow it with people that I genuinely care about, and I would love to have you on board. So this is what it would look like. I am hoping to teach 1 to 2 classes every month. And
that sounds like her too. Where you just said, it doesn't sound like you're saying something.
Writing that down.
Yeah. And
notes.
Right.
Got to record it.
That's all honest, right?
Yeah.
It's a very honest thing to say.
It's got to be in your voice.
Yeah. And you can even quote throw yourself in the bus to say I did not talk about it like this before because I honestly wasn't sure where I was headed with it, and I didn't know if it was going to be an opportunity, one that I saw as viable, or 2 wanted to take.
Yeah.
But now that the longer that I've thought through it, looked into it, I do think that this is where I'm headed. And I've got a plan for this next year, and I honestly don't want to do it by myself. I would love to have. So
I feel like Rachel.
by the way, I just did this with a girl, and she shot me down. Oh, it was brutal.
Was that the other day that you were talking about?
Oh, it was so rude. And the thing is, I've approached her twice in the past 2 weeks because I genuinely really like her as a human. And I was like, I would really like to do this. I genuinely like her. She shot me down so hardcore. But gently. Very gently. But still, it was like, okay. So I was like, girl.
We're never talking.
I'll never bring it up, but I was like, one, I said I'd have and she told me why, I was like, I have mad respect for that, but I just want to let you know I was thinking about, I literally could not let this go without bringing it up one more time, but I won't bring it up again. But I've been intentional since then to still engage her on social media.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So that she's not dropped forever.
Right,
yeah.
right, and for her to think oh, she only reached out to me because she it's not, I genuinely like her as a human. So anyway, so I'm right there with you. I'm rocking and rolling and doing it myself. So anyway, okay, so no one is just ever a good sale. Have that conversation with them. And so for those of you that are like, I just want to get my oils paid for, the easiest way to quote get your oils paid for is to have 3 to 5 business people underneath you.
Mhm.
So the faster you do that, the faster you have a break even,
Mhm.
to be honest. You know, I mean, that's why I said this talk is great because it kind of approaches like wherever you're at, you know. And so let me just tell you this. I have a girlfriend, and her name is Sarah Heidi. She is the top of my third leg. She has probably sold like 3 kits her entire life, right? But her OGV is over 100,000 because those 3 kit sales decided to go, you know, to do the business and did really well.
That's the whole like sell 3, they sell 3. They
Yeah,
sell
they sell her and it does really, really well.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I put a couple girls underneath her that did really well, and Sarah sits on an OGV of over 100,000. And she was able to, she works with women that have been rescued out of sex trafficking, and she was able to quit her job, but still work her job, meaning she gives back her salary.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's the
Awesome.
coolest thing, and now she does other things along the same vein, but the income gave her the freedom. Okay, so just a thought, so if you wanna get your oils paid for, don't let that deter you, like, oh, well, I don't have to do that much, no, I'm like, dude, wouldn't it be awesome if you could get your oils paid for and you might not sell a kit that much, but you break even because you've got business people underneath you that are kind of doing their own thing. Okay,